Alright. Let's get this up here. Alright. So the game is up. Hello, Lucas. Alright. So we're looking for Legoman and Haru. Okay, so I thought that this was at 7. It was actually at 6. You gotta read things very carefully. Good thing is, I just happened to wake up in time. Oh, happy birthday, Ziggy! Hello, Araloo. Just gonna stream 21 Generals tonight, or some games after. Depends how long it takes. I'll probably do something after. Seriously, happy birthday, Ziggy. Okay, so who are we waiting for? We're waiting for Haru and Kappa. Yeah. Haru and Legoman. Hello, everybody. Pookie. James. Okay. I'll make a lobby. Password. Nice and simple. Okay. So, we've got I think this is a best of 5. I'd like to find the tab. Here we go. Yes, this is a best of 5, and then it's a best of 7 against James. I think those are all the games I'm supposed to do tonight. So, let's go. Harry versus Legoman. Two strong competitors. I'd say Harry's probably the slight favourite. But there's not much in it. Alright. Let's see. Okay, so in the south we got Haru playing as Bellified, running Squirrel, Lizard, Toad, Falcon, Cam, Mine, and Legoman up in the north, playing as Quartermaster, running Lizard, Toad, Falcon, Cam, Wolf, Mine. So actually quite similar decks. The most interesting, but okay, so there's one difference, and it's a really interesting one. Legoman has taken no squirrels and has put in a wolf instead. Other than that, the decks are identical. That's interesting. I wonder if lizards are gonna work against Harry, who's got the toads and the chameleons and the mines. He's got quite a bit of anti-lizard tech. It's strange that Legoman is taking no squirrels. Gotta teach him a lesson for never reading the rules. Rules are for peasants, not for kings. I expect that's gonna be his logic, his line of reasoning. Okay, Legoman going for a quick set of chameleons. Is he going to get it out in time? He's supply blocked. And Haru's now starting to rush with his two squirrels, putting down a couple of lizard warrens as well. There's one mine down, but Legoman can easily shoot from outside the range of, well, without stepping on the mine. The mine doesn't really have range. He needs to delay until he's got enough forces to actually hold, but you can't defend very well with lizards. And now one chameleon I don't think is going to be able to do this by itself. But he can't let this chameleon one go down unchallenged. I think Legoman's going to lose this. Yes, he does. Very strange deck from Legoman. A very odd play. And it really cost him. Both not having squirrels and the early cam caused him trouble there. It seems like he's keeping the wolf, but he wants to put squirrels back in. So he's cutting the toads. This is a best of 5. The best of 7 is against James. The winner of this plays James in a best of 7. Okay, so Harry's sticking with the same deck. I wonder how this is gonna affect things. Okay, map-wise, these guys are gonna end up coming to blows pretty quickly. Legoman is sort of funneled into here by his expansions. He can take this one, then this, and then he's gonna have to fight Haru. Haru has the option of expanding backwards or forwards. depending on how aggressive he's feeling. He probably wants to take that mill. Curious why he sold it as he was building. Probably a good call though, because they're quite close together. And this high ground, if Legoman's able to take that, he can put some real damage on Haru unanswered. So, Haru has moved onto the high ground. He's running mainly lizards, which is odd when you're trying to play defensively. Would have expected him to put more squirrels. He's putting squirrels into the mix now, but surprised he didn't come out earlier. Now, for Legoman, this is going to be quite hard to expand, because this expansion, now that Haru's taken this one, this expansion is basically a no-go. He can expand down here if he needs to. But other than that, he's kind of starved for bases. Is Haru blue team now? Haru was always blue team. And they're not required to follow colours of factions. Not for this, at least. Okay, so we've got some toads coming out for Haru. No one's gone up to tier 2 yet. Legoman floating a lot of food. What's he plan to spend it on? He's floating a lot of food. Okay, just puts down some squirrel warrens. But the delay in timing might be too much. He's got a decent mine presence, but Haru is doing this quite well, bringing his lizards in first, so his toads can get in unmolested. He gets one farm, but now the re-rally. Legoman picks off some reinforcements, but he doesn't get... He's not able to push beyond that. And it seems like Legoman lost some lizard warrens there as well. I think Haru could be quite satisfied with that attack. Although he is running much lower on army value now. Okay. His army value jumps up. So does Haru's. Maybe... Sorry, so does Legoman's. Legoman could push in, perhaps. Of course, it's very hard to push into toads. And I think Haru's army will do better than it looks, simply because of the diversity of units. Legoman going hard into farms, although so is Haru, so I don't think anything will come of it. Haru getting more toads out. He's pleased with the way they worked. And I mean, when your opponent is mainly running tier 1, alright, here he comes. Oh, these toads are all clumped together. This is going to be a big hit. That was a big hit. So many squirrels went down there. Those toads trading super efficiently. And not just the toads, but trying to stutter step with the squirrels meant that Haru's units were getting so many free shots. And Legoman is down 2-0. He needs to make a serious comeback here. Or this could be another short stream. I think he did have time to push after that first attack, but he was too cautious. Haru's got that top tier privilege where people don't punish him. Because they assume he's always got a big army. Legoman needs to play with a bit more confidence. Let's see what he goes for. Haru, slight mix-up, squirrel, lizard, toad, pigeon, skunk, snake. This seems like sort of a deck meant to counter the Falcon Cam. Is it just this match today? No, yeah, we've got Winner versus James next. Oh. Whew. So cold. It's so cold I need to put on a shirt. Oh! It's okay. Sound a little nasally. I've had the flu for over the week, so that's not surprising. I always sound pretty nasally though. But yeah, over the week I've been not 100%. Only half naked, Master Stealth. Don't get too excited. Alright, Squirrel Mold. Legoman is taking a lot of time to think this over. He really wants this. I mean, what would you do if you're Legoman? Because so far, he hasn't actually had the chance to test out his deck. He's just lost super early. So I think he definitely needs more early game. He needs something to deal with the Toads, because his deck was clearly incapable of doing it last game. I think the Skunk Mold is a good start. You possibly take some defensive structures, like the barbed wire. Legoman returning to his roots with the barbed wire. When webcam reveal, 200 follower special. Sure. Why not? Okay. Okay, Skunk, Falcon, Squirrel Mold. The barbed wire will definitely do better than the mines if he sticks with it. After all, Haru has nothing that can actually damage the barbed wire directly. He's got no chameleons, so that's a good choice by Legoman. Pigeon. Is that his deck? It's not impossible. And I think actually taking no tier 3 against Haru makes sense, because Haru, he doesn't really let the games get that long. He's quite aggressive. You might as well take a deck that's stronger in the early and mid game. Rio Mochaccino making the same calls. Okay. So Legoman's got a good deck counter, but that might not be enough. He needs to still play well. Okay, so Squirrel Mole, Squirrel, Lizard, Toad, Pigeon, Skunk, Snake against Squirrel, Pigeon, Mole, Falcon, Skunk, Barbed Wire. Map is not too unbalanced in either way. These two mills go to Legoman nice and easily. These two go to Haru. This one's a bit of a stickler, but Legoman should be able to cover it, defend it pretty well. These two will then get harder to take either player, and there's this ninja expansion for whoever's feeling ballsy. But I kind of think no one will take it. I think Lego Man would probably be in a good spot if he just takes this meal straight away. Really, you know, put his foot down on the map. Take some good position. Ooh, that's a ballsy choice from Lego Man. Can he get away with it? It looks like he is. He's supply blocked on the moles, but that's sort of deliberate, because now he's got 3 Warrens down here. Haru isn't going to think he's got anything hidden. Although he did check up here. Okay, Haru is just hidden. Oh, he sold one of the mole Warrens. For better or worse. 3 can take down a mill still. It's less of an investment, and you know they'll do just fine if Haru isn't there to protect them. But 6 could blast it down while the squirrels are still here. He'd be fine. Is he going to move in? Do a 2-pronged assault? Is he going to use the moles here? No, he's just putting down extra moles. Oh, is Haru's gonna fall for this? If this, oh, is he? He's still checking, but he's checking the wrong place. Like, this is hilarious because he's seen Lego Man run up here several times, and that's the type of thing you've got to look out for. If you see your opponent run to one particular spot over and over again, maybe have a check. Okay, eventually these moles are going to split out and will get spotted. Oh, I'm so hopeful that these moles do something. Oh, here we go, here we go. 6 moles on the mill. You gonna get it? Come on! Oh, no! He dropped focus fire for like a second. Oh, that's a big loss. That's quite a lot of units Lego Man ended up losing for nothing. Oh, that is sad. That's a big oof. I mean, Lego Man isn't exactly far behind. He's got a decent army, but look at this income graph. Like, Haru was ahead in economy for a while, and he's getting 4 tier 2s, which is going to be a struggle for Lego Man. The 4 skunks are going to shred through all of Lego Man's squirrels and moles. The lizard snakes will get through the skunks. This isn't looking good for Lego Man right now. But he's got the barbed wire. If he can just stay there, stay safe, then he can eco up and possibly mount a bit of a comeback. Oh, come on, Lego Man, you need to get back. Okay, he gets back in time. Thank God. Okay, here we go. The barbed wire is working against Lego Man here. For some reason, it's the only unit in the game that has friendly fire on. Eel needs to explain that decision to me sometime. So here we go. Here's the big fight. It's going in Legoman's favour so far, but oh, there's so much skunk gas that this fight lasts more than a few seconds. Legoman's in real big trouble. He's supply blocked as well at the moment. Now that said, Haru's army is mostly tier 2 at the moment. He hasn't got any tier 1 to really tank. But Summon's getting there. Legoman's running out of units. He needs to sell something. But no. Legoman surrenders. Well, that's disappointing. GG, Legoman. Haru takes it 3-0. I mean, that's rough for Legoman, because the first game... Like, the first game he just seemed to be memeing. I struggle to even count that as a real loss. But, you know, by then it was too little too late. I mean, the tournament counts as a real loss. But he tried to be cute on the first game, taking no squirrels, and then starting with a chameleon rush, and that was just too much. That's too much, man. Second game he had nothing against the Toads. He just didn't have the counter pick to Haru's deck and was too slow to adjust. And in the last game, he made that big risky mole play. I mean, I think it goes without saying that if Legoman gets that mill with the mole rush, he's in a much better spot. Because that would have been 180 food he would have got off Haru for basically nothing, while he would have been ahead in economy as well. It might not have won the game, but it would have come close. Okay, so I think Haru's taking a short break to gather himself. Luckily for him, it wasn't the most strenuous. Game. Alright, so here we go. Haru versus James. The king versus his de facto second in command. They had a few fallings out in the tournament where James called Haru a spy, but Haru was, I think, his most powerful general overall, and the one who won him the most games and the most territory. So this will be interesting. And the winner of this will face Araloo in the grand finals in a best of 9. Alright, so what we got? Squirrel, Lizard, Toad, Falcon Cam, Mine for Haru against Squirrel, Toad, Falcon Cam, Fox Arty for James. And once again, James playing as the quartermaster, showing his true colours. Okay. So, this map is probably pretty good. It's basically 3 mills a piece. If you split it down here, say this is the line of symmetry, then it's 3 mills a piece. Haru's are a bit further away from his... Well, actually, no. They look a bit further. but it's not that hard to get to. I think, given the fact that James has an artillery cannon, this is definitely in his favour. These forward mills for Haru are very vulnerable to an arty creep, because over this water and up this hill is going to be very hard to attack over. If James takes this mill and starts placing down artillery, Haru might struggle. Alternatively, he could just mass falcon to get through it, which I think James expects because he's got the fox, which, you know, can pick away at mass falcon. Takes a while, but one shot, one kill, all that works out well. Okay, James has got his chameleons out, so this lizard run by isn't going to accomplish much. Just decides to retreat back. James running a quite interesting deck. The Fox RT combo is something that we've not seen before, but it's paired with the super meta Falcon Cam Squirrel. Possibly even the Toads. Are the Toads meta now? Are they like unusual picks still? Or have they been picked so often that they're just meta again? I'm not sure. Need to look at the stats. Okay, so Haru's slightly ahead on economy. James looking good on army. If he gets these Toads out before these chameleons come out, which he might, then he's in a good position to push. Because Haru really has nothing to hold back these chameleons. Hey, we've got 21 viewers for the 21 generals. How appropriate. Both players going up to 4 chameleons. Blackjack. I wonder when James is going to try and tech into this fox. How are we going for 6 cams? Toads start to do well against cams when they get to this number. I mean, you need more than 6 toads to do that, but if James goes up to something like 12 toads, maybe even 15, then he could put some serious damage onto these chameleons. Oh, and there goes the fox, Warren. Okay, so both players are pretty much fully saturated on the second base. Now there's no pretty much about it, it's fully saturated. So who's going to be the one to expand? Who's going to go for a third? This, this fox, is Harry going to see it? No. It's pretty well hidden there. He has to get through a lot of army to scout it. It is on the low ground though. Oh, good night, Zon. Well, thanks for coming to show your support, nonetheless. Okay. Haru knows something is up, but he hasn't managed to scout it. That said, he might be okay. I mean, he's floating a lot of food, which isn't great. But 6 chameleons won't do too bad a job. Now he's got his own codes to deal with James's. It looks like he wants to attack before this tier 3 comes out. Haru doesn't know that there's a tier 3, but he feels that there's a tier 3. He's well ahead in economy with this base, but I'm wondering if that's a bit too greedy. Is he going to be able to hold now that the fox is out? That's a big leap in army value for Haru. Oh, and he's not there to protect his units. He's only losing tier 1 so far. Okay, he just loses a squirrel. It's not too big a deal. He can just get more tier 1 up. He can probably take this, but then he's got to worry about the arty cannon. Well, 8 falcons can deal with that. Okay, this is getting close now. Haru's got a really good economy for now. He needs to leverage it quickly because James is going to be able to do shit like this. Oh, but that spreads out James' army quite a lot. Haru tries to come in the back, but now his army's stuck in the water, moving up the hill into arty fire. It doesn't matter. He's just got so much stuff. He's just pushing over. But this fox is going to start accumulating value, picking off falcons. There's not a lot of falcons left. The fox took some damage, but it's still healthy. Alright. Haru did pretty well there, but he's going to... Oh, never mind. He's just going to go back in. Not sure if this is the right move. But then again, James doesn't know how many of Haru's chameleons are still around. And I like this. Getting the lizards on the mill while the falcons and squirrels, while everything else holds a line. So now that gives Haru a really big economic advantage. But he might be overextending here. You've got to be careful about overextending against... Oh, never mind. I was going to say maybe he is overextending and James will be able to start turning the tides with the fox, but James apparently disagrees. Even though the army was similar. I don't know, I think James could have played that out. Like, Fox can make some incredible comebacks. If Haru kept on overextending like that. Then James could have kept on picking off these valuable tier 2s, and then Haru wouldn't have had enough units to stop the fox from coming in and poking his farms down. So I really think James could have played that out. But he's the king and not me. Okay. I mean, especially in a tournament game, you might as well play it to the end. Alright. Squirrel, lizard, toad, falcon, cam, snake from Haru this time. Slight alteration, putting the snakes in. Against James, squirrel, toad, falcon, cam, boar, balloon. So James making some big alterations. Not that big. He's still got a tier 3 and a defensive structure, but they've flipped roles. Now the defensive structure is the pokey sniper unit, and the tier 3 is the AoE exploder unit. Okay. Now the boar will do pretty badly against snakes, but well, in a one-on-one fight between snakes and boar, the snakes will have it. But it can be hard as snakes to actually get the tags on the board necessary. James has no pigeons, which will help with the poison tags in general, but especially on the boar. If you take a cell from Haru, slams down 4 warrens. I mean, I guess it makes sense when he sees James expanding first. You know what, I shouldn't talk about the hypothetical snake-boar matchup, because we might not ever get there. Let's talk about the map. It seems like it's pretty good for both players at the start. Haru's got 2 mills to expand to, and they're both pretty safe. James likewise has multiple mills he can expand to. I think he's probably got the better end of this deal with 1, 2, 3 expansions. Although he might not get to use them as Haru is coming in now. Nope, that's just a fake attack to make James feel a bit nervous about ecoing up. Goes back and puts down chameleons, which is actually what James did. James wasn't worried by that attack at all. Put down some tier 2 as Haru was coming in. Haru's starting to eke out a few extra farms, but no fight yet. James getting his falcons up. He wants to come in for some chameleon shenanigans, but Haru has blocked that off by moving his squirrels over here. Although chameleons might get a warren. Nope. Not going to get anything. And Haru going for extra chameleons as opposed to James' split. James is now the one who's ahead in economy. I wonder if Haru's going to put his down. Yeah, Haru puts his final farms down. Both players are getting up to 16 farms. So far this is about the same sort of structure as the last game. Bold sell by Haru there, selling a tier 2 warren to put down extra tier 2 and a tier 1. That gives James a big advantage in army. But it looks like it might pay off. Oh, and there goes the tier 3. Haru has not scouted it. Balloon going down nice and early to stop Haru from scouting it. Haru, where you going? Haru's going to come around here and see this, surely. Yeah, he's seen it. Alright, so if I'm Haru, I'm going back and I'm putting down snakes. Or maybe just more falcons. Either one could work. He's putting down more lizards. Now that's not the choice I would have made. I would have chosen to build something that counters Ore rather than something that dies to it really easily. But I think the logic is the boar's never going to come out because I'm just going to go in now. So I need stuff that can build fast. And it looks like it's working. Assuming the game's netcode can stand the heat. Right. What the fuck? That was quite a climactic moment there. No one won that. Was it me? How could it be me? I'm still in the lobby. I'm pretty sure that was a mutual DC. So, I imagine we're redoing it. You've surely got to redo it. possibly James. James might need to restart the game. Yeah, they're gonna replay that. Which is good because, I mean, that wasn't going anywhere. Like, it wasn't obvious who was gonna win that. It looked like it was about to go in Haru's favour, but James still had the balloons up, so... And with his defender's advantage, it's possible he could have... Something does seem to be going wrong with the game servers. There are a lot more bad connections. I'm not sure why. Anyway, both players running the same decks. Squirrel, Lizard, Toad, Falcon, Cam, Snake against Squirrel, Toad, Falcon, Cam, Boar, Balloon. This goes, I think, in Haru's favour, just rematching. He knows what tier 3 James is going for. James is the one who made the big changes to his deck, and now that's been completely nullified by the fact that Haru knows. Both players are saying in the Discord that they thought they were behind. Okay. And I mean, it was very hard to say who was winning that. Okay, so Haru has ended up with a pretty nice map. Nice high ground. Easy base here. Pretty easy base here. Even this fourth potential base is pretty easy. Whereas James, he's got 2 bases that are pretty safe, but it's only 2 of them. Okay, well, so we're seeing a very different build order here. Haru going with early snakes, tier 1 into tier 2. James doing the same thing, but with chameleons. The snakes do stand to take this. If James can't get anything up to... Oh my god, I think that decision to take the mill could have just cost James the match. Chameleons are pretty bad at hunting down snakes. I mean, did James not see this? James did see the tier 2. He probably didn't expect snakes, because Haru never actually built snakes last game, so James wasn't aware of them. He probably thought it was going to be chameleons. But now, this snake able to poke from this high ground. Oh, and the commander goes down. At this early stage, when the commander's health pool is so low, like, that's going to be happening quite a bit. That chameleon's going to die. I'm pretty sure Haru's already won this. Like, this decision to take the mill was, you know, really bad in hindsight. And I think it's all because James didn't know about the snakes. Grey squirrel or red squirrel? The score is now 2-0. Grey squirrel or red squirrels? To what end? I mean, red squirrels are definitely cooler, but grey squirrels are definitely the ones you'd want to have your back in a fight. Okay, Haru going for the same deck. Squirrel, Lizard, Toad, Falcon, Cam, Snake. James, Squirrel, Pigeon, Falcon, Snake, Badger, Mine. James is taking some strange decks. Like, what's the logic in James's thought process here? He's just been destroyed by snakes. The first game he lost to Falcons. The second game he lost to snakes. So the third game he decides, I'll go Badger. Which one is your favourite? I mean, red looks cooler, but greys win in pretty much every other regard because, I mean, they literally win. The snakes could work for James, but I work against Haru's snakes, sort of work against his falcons, work against his cams. They'll struggle to deal with the squirrel, lizard, toad bit. James doesn't really have anything that can deal with a mass tier 1. If Haru just gets a good squizzard comp up, then he can basically run over James's army completely. Even with the Badger. Greys are American invaders invading the UK. Well... Okay, that's another disconnect. So are we going to rematch that one? Because that one was definitely Haru. The score is 2-0 Haru, but we're having some internet problems. By which, I mean us as a collective. I do not want to update apps. Okay, so okay, it looks like we're going to redo it. But I think Haru's internet, he's not responding in the Discord, so I think his internet collapsed completely. So Haru seems to have completely crashed, so we're going to have to wait for him to restart. Oh, there he is. I was about to suggest that I played James for like just to kill time, but no, never mind. He's right back. Okay. So we're still waiting for James for some reason. Now they're arguing about who gets the win. Haru is trying to argue that James should get the win. And James is saying that, no, I shouldn't, because I was behind. I'm of the, nothing had happened yet, so I don't think we should go either way. Why the fuck am I subscribed to Polygon? I don't want to be subscribed to them. I've only got one show I like. They've only got one person I like. Trying David Gilbert. Okay. Okay, here we go. Still the same decks. And holy shit, James should have taken the win. Oh my god, he has got so screwed by map gen. Well, he turned down the pity, as is right for a king, but... No, this is a best of 7. And at the rate it's going, we could be here a while. We're still only 2 games into this. But man, Haru is... not Haru, James has got a rough map here. The finals are not going to be casted tonight, no. They will happen sometime next week. Either next Friday or Saturday or Sunday, or one of the weekend days. Okay, so where does James expand here? Because not only are these mills really far away from him, they're also, you know, very spread out and very open to attack. Especially with lizards. Like, he can't expand up here because lizards can run in so easily. He can't expand here because it's right on Haru's front door. He can't expand... I guess this is his best bet, but it's not great. Okay, he's going with a chameleon beginning. He's got some squirrels supporting it. He should be able to hold. He's going to lose this warren, but he has got a chameleon out, and the chameleon can see off these squirrels. Man, the connection between these two is not great. Okay. I'll be very impressed if James managed to win this map. But also, James has changed up his deck from the DC. He's not taken snakes this time, or the badger. I wonder why. Maybe he regretted it. I'm not going to hold it against him, considering that Haru DC'd. I think it's fair that James gets to repick his deck. And I don't think Haru's going to complain too much, given how much RNG has gone in his favour. Okay, so James is actually quite ahead in army. He's trying to get some poking done with these squirrels. Haru has chameleons on the way, so he will be able to see this off, but for the time being, James takes advantage of that slight army gap. balloon gets placed down. But Harry's coming in from behind with lizards. Oh my god. James is moving in. I think this is the only option he's got, really. He's got to get serious damage done. Oh no, he's not. I mean, it was only 6 lizards, so it wasn't like he'd get much out of it anyway. And he even lost a toad there due to a miss micro. He didn't need to sacrifice that toad. That was just a waste of 20 food. Okay, the toads come in. But man, without the toads, he's got nothing to kill the chameleons. His toads blow up Harry's warrens, but Harry's toads blow up James's chameleons, which ends up being more important in the short term. James needs to catch up on economy. The balloon protects him for now, but he's so far behind, having lost those 3 farms. He did manage to pick off a farm here, so that's something. And with the warrens, oh, that's a rough drop on the chameleon. And looks like James surrendered. I'm guessing he must have gone in and it didn't go so well. James is pretty good-natured about his about everything going wrong for him at the moment. He's sticking with the board deck. Oh, it's 3-0 in Haru's favour. It looks like James might get dethroned. Okay, this time he's got a much better base. Got 2 meals here, as well as a 4th down here. They're not super safe, but they're reasonable. Can James make the comeback? I mean, it's a tough comeback to make. He's got to win 4 games against Haru in a row. But if James makes it to the finals, it does make it a lot easier to cast, because Haru and Arulu, like, they both sound too similar. So, well, I guess that's Delphius' problem, but I mean, I know I'd be stumbling over those names. The pet attack squirrel. That's I mean, why only wish for 1? Is what I want to know. Okay, so Chameleon's coming out for James, Fawn's coming out for Haru. Come on, James, make the comeback. we all want to see James take at least one game. I want to see. So far, none of these games have gone to. In fact, hasn't every game played so far gone to just being a 3-0 or like a 5-0? Sorry, a 3-0 or a 4-0. That's what I was trying to say. James is coming in, but he's got his comedians in a good spot. He's going to keep him alive. That's a very good fight for James. But I know Araloo never dropped a game. So far, Haru hasn't dropped a game. I think Brandy and Epicosity. I think that was a 2-1. But I think other than that, all the games have been someone's been nilled. We haven't seen a single match go to the last game. Okay. Haru got a good economy, even with that. Oh wow! James is so far ahead in army. And he's picking off this tier 2 Warren nice and easily. This is looking like James is gonna start his comeback. I mean, there's still a long way to go, but it's looking like Haru's not going to be able to stop this. He does pick up a free chameleon, but James gets the tier 2 Warren and a pig. And he goes for the boar. No, that's the wrong button. There we go. Honestly, James could probably just move in. Like, he doesn't need to go for a tier 3. I mean, his army is nearly double. Even if you factor in the balloon, like... James is winning that fight easily. Doesn't manage to kill Haru's commander. Haru is creeping ahead in economy, but that's going to let James get this boar out unchallenged, as Haru hasn't even scouted it. Now that said, 4 snakes, 4 falcons, 4 cams. That's a pretty good boar counter. And James is falling quite far behind on economy to get this boar out. Like, Haru has caught up in army value quite substantially. Haru is ahead now. Haru is ahead now. He wasn't a minute ago. When James put this boar down, Haru was behind. But his desire to get his tier 3 out is possibly going to cost him the game, as Haru has a good counter up. He's going to have loads of falcons, loads of snakes, and he's been ahead on economy for a while now. In fact, if I'm James, I seriously consider not pushing and just taking some time to equal up. Okay. Well, the boar is out. Let's see what he can do. Some farms are definitely going to go down for Haru here. So here we go. Big explosions. But man, these snake falcons just wrecking James's army. And oh my god, it started so well. Okay, the boar is down. It looks like the reinforcements are gonna hold this for James, and he is actually ahead in economy now. Both players lost a farm, but somehow James ends up ahead. I think because Haru's are following slightly quicker on this mill. The score is 3-0 to Haru. If Haru wins this game, he wins the set. James needs to make a 4-game comeback. Okay. Okay. I think this time you give it to James. Like I mean the fight was still even, but if you disconnect that far into the game, then I think that's a pretty justifiable forfeit. Was Haru ahead? I should have checked out the army graph. What is wrong with Haru's internet? Is this how James wins? Maybe James doesn't win an actual game. Maybe he just, maybe he just forces Haru's internet to completely collapse. I mean, James still doesn't want to take the win. Okay, let's have a look at that replay. Harry's saying just take the win this time, please. Why say boss instead of boar? I mean, the boar was basically the boss for Harry. Now, if he overcame that, he was likely to win the game, although it ended up not being the case. Like, James was so far ahead here. He should have just pushed in, but instead he tried to get this boar out. Like, if he just pushes in here, he wins. Okay, so we know how this fight goes. A lot of stuff goes down for James due to the poison. Somehow James holds without actually losing anything. And then they rebuild. How much do they rebuild? Selling the boar pays for a lot of tier 2. And James has a lot of tier 1 ready to go, which is good against Harry's composition. Okay, Harry's ahead at the moment. And this is where we de-seed. Okay, so Harry's ahead at the moment, but that's essentially just one tier 2. And James has got more on the way. Yeah, it's Hard to say who won, but I think the fact that he disconnected so far into the game means that James should take it. Did they seriously just start without me? Jesus, I specifically asked them not to do that. I told them, okay, I'm going to go check the replay so you know what the army graph is like. Don't start without me. And they do exactly the fucking morons. Okay, it doesn't seem like we've missed too much. No, moaning is a national sport for Brits. Ranting is just a personal hobby of mine. Okay, so the score is now 3-1. Despite the fact that James has yet to win an actual fight. He's won a game. Okay, Squirrel, Lizard, Toad, Falcon, Cam, Snake against Squirrel, Toad, Falcon, Cam, Owl, Balloon. I think James is making the right decision by taking the Owl instead of the Boar. I think that's a lot better against Haru's deck. Haru can still deal with that since he's got the Falcons, but James can deal with Falcons as well. What the fuck is going on with this connection? You put the plug into the other bit of the plug. It's not that hard. Figure it out. Nope, we're still behind. Okay, so we've still got tier 2 going down. Both players. Haru expanding more aggressively. Haru doesn't push in there, even though he probably could have got away with it. He didn't know that there's no chameleon up though, so that would explain why he didn't. Okay, James is going to come in with a chameleon. Is Haru going to spot this? I mean, James knows when the commander's away. Thanks to his balloon vision, so he can time this well. And he does. And James won't be able to get... Haru won't be able to get back due to being shot. So that's 1. That's 2. That's 3. 3 farms for free. 3 for free. No, not that. I'm trying to catch up, but I don't know how far behind we are. I don't want the game to just abruptly end. Especially since this could be the last game of the set. But why the fuck did they not just wait for me to get back? Like, that's so rude. Okay, good chameleon play from James, taking a Warren. Is he gonna save them? Is he gonna micro these back? He does not. A curious strategy. I think he was probably being shot at by the pigs. It looked like his commander was flashing. So, that ended up not actually being good chameleon play from James. And he's actually fallen behind in economy quite significantly, even with the 3 farm pickup. Okay, but he's got the owl building. Okay, good, so we've basically caught up. 3 or 4 seconds is sort of like normal latency when casting. Okay, as Haru still hasn't scouted this owl. He's not got any falcons up. He's got chameleons, and they're not bad. Especially against... It's just going to be 1 owl for the time being. Okay, big toe collision. Haru definitely gets the better end of it. But the owl is here. Should be able to clear up what remains of Haru's army. And James actually has the economic lead now. As I'm not sure how, I think these farms. Harry put down his farm sooner, so they're following sooner. Both players have a third expansion ready to go. Although James does have a fourth that he can take, which Haru does not have the luxury of. Oh, James is taking a risk here, moving his mice out. This will work well. They could get some serious damage done here. They're going to go for the pigs. They are. Now, the big problem with this is that it leaves Haru's army here much weaker. If Haru were to... Sorry, James's army here much weaker. If Haru were to try and push in there, without the mice to back him up, James might have been in trouble. But he gets away with it. Another 3 farms. And the mice are tanking the toads quite nicely. Let's see how this works. The problem are these 6 chameleons. That's just so much hell to get through. But he has got through it. He needs to keep this owl alive. It's at 6. It's running out of health. No, he's got it. He's saved the owl. He's got a second one on its way. This is looking good for James here. Haru can no longer afford the 6 chameleons, and without the 6 chameleons, he doesn't have the ability to burst down these mice quickly. So he's going to be taking serious damage. Every time James runs in his mice, Haru's going to be taking significant damage from now on. And he's already behind. So James is looking really good. His second owl is about to start building. He sells I think there was a toad warren, squirrel warren, actually. Using my deductive reasoning. Okay, James is going up on eco. There's no way Haru really comes back from this. He'd need to get some sort of base trade going. Because he can't win in a straight fight. Yeah, okay. 3-2. Is the comeback real? James actually won an honest fight. Here we go. And James completely changing his deck yet again. Squirrel, lizard, toad, falcon, skunk, snake for Haru. He's found what he likes. He's found what works. Does Haru know his 3-2? He should do. If he can count. James, however, squirrel, toad, ferret, cam, fox, balloon. I mean, it's both a strength and a weakness of James that he never sticks with one deck for long. It makes him hard to predict, hard to counter pick, but it also means that he never really sticks with anything that works for too long. No, he knew that the DC was counted as a win for James. He had to convince James to take the DC as a win. So he knows that that was not a rematch. Okay. Map-wise, it's definitely better for Haru. James really only has this expansion as a natural base, but he can expand outwards. Oh, we're seeing Squirrel Snake against Squirrel Cam. Is James going to make the same mistake? He's already lost a game to this. Oh, this is exactly the same thing that cost him last time. Oh, this is looking really bad for James. He hasn't learned his lesson. Okay, he's got a bit more time to get an army up. So maybe he'll be able to do something. He's seen the snake. He could get a balloon down. No, he's just going for more squirrels. Are they just gonna get up in time though? Okay, the squirrels are building. He should be willing to sacrifice that mill, I think. If he comes out of this having only lost a mill, then he's done well. But now, the squirrel count is going heavily in James's favour. He's got enough that he can burst down these snakes. So that lets the chameleons, that gives him some covering fire to get onto the squirrels. And now, Haru's having to retreat all the way back. James doesn't overextend. It was very tempting to attack and try and pick off that snake. I think a lot of people would have done it. I'm pretty sure I would have done it. But he shows some good discipline and he pulls back. Although maybe that was too much discipline. No, that jump in the army is with his chameleons and putting the balloon down, so it's not like he could have really done much here. 4 skunks coming out for Haru. He's got the campfire already, so he's got good eco. Who's disconnected this time? Have I disconnected? God damn it. This is the most disastrous set of Tooth and Tail I think I've ever been party to. Yeah. Can I get back in the lobby, please? I bet the game's going to end before we catch up. I hope the finals go smoother than this. Okay, so we've seen all this. So, I mean, we can talk about predictions. James's deck loses quite hard to Snake, so I would have predicted that he would have lost, but he's actually in quite a solid position. So maybe he can bring it back. He needs an answer to those 4 skunks though, and his answer might just be a bunch of balloons. If he puts balloons down here, then Harry's going to have a really hard time attacking, and it also means he can expand out here easier. Okay, this is about where we disconnected. So everything from here on out is new. Harry tries to expand onto the hill, but his commander goes down. He's got the 4 skunks. James is trying to build ferrets. James does some shenanigans with his chameleons. Nice and safe, doesn't get too greedy with it. fight starts to happen. A lot of ferret poking, a lot of balloon. But the skunk gas is... oh my god. Skunk gas in a narrow corridor. Am I going to disconnect again? Is this really going to happen? This is really happening, isn't it? I can't just do 5 times speed because it needs to buffer. Apparently Harry won. Okay, Harry's going to send me the replay. So, a bit of a spoiler. I don't know why there's been so much more lag in the game lately. It's not just me. The connections have got a lot shakier. Okay, I don't think Harry sent me the file right. Like, you have to zip the files, don't you? Because otherwise it just comes as a fucking document. Well, how do I put it in? Because if it just comes up to me as a fucking, like, notepad document. Can I just copy them? Because that's the only way I know how to do it. Rename to XML. Just copy it into the replay folder. That's what I'm trying to do. But I can't. Okay. Okay, look here. Here's a file. I can't copy link and just paste it in here. That's not an option. If I click the arrow on the right, then it comes up as this. Open the folder of the downloads. What, you mean on my computer? And then copy this in. Okay. Ah. Great. Thanks, everybody. Well, thanks, Mochaccino. Let's put that back. Okay, so let's fast forward. And let's see how this turned out. Well, we know how it turned out, but let's see why it turned out. Okay, so this is the first fight that James wins by quite a convincing margin. No, not as much as I thought, actually. Looking at the army graph. Okay, so this is around where we had the second crash. The balloon got a lot of work done, but the skunk gas in this narrow corridor was pretty huge. The toads struggled to get in. But the ferrets were picking things off and the balloons were getting so many shots off that James looks like he's in the lead. This puts Haru at 9 farms, so he's technically ahead. But the ferret can now shoot directly onto the mill. How does Haru win this? This push goes very much in Haru's favour. But the ferrets get some good shots off, deal a lot of damage to tier 2. The problem is these snakes, which I did say would be a problem for James. Okay, he finally gets one. This mill might go down. No, it's not going to go down on just 2. Okay, now James lost a lot of warrens there, but he's still ahead in economy. Although, actually not anymore. Well, yes, now. As farms fallow, looks like it's going to go 2 to 1. But now, Harry's just got a lot of tier 1. We've got a good squizzy from. Okay, so Harry gets another snake out. He's just on the campfire now for economy. But he comes in with a decent army. The snakes get huge tags and the toads don't get anything. James would probably be better off like not having them, and that's how he loses. Harry just manages to get up one good fight. There's no way for James to rebuild. I'm surprised that happened, but that's it. We finally managed to finish the 21 generals for tonight after what was it? Was it 4 DCs? 5? Quite a lot. Alright, so I'm going to do a bit of ranked.